Rome, the marble metropolis of reason, law, philosophy, and— wait, is that a man yelling at the sea? Yes, it is. Today, dear loafers of the Lazy History Club, we crack open one of the most unhinged chapters in imperial ego, the time Emperor Caligula, God help us, declared war on the ocean. Specifically, the god of the sea, Neptune, who apparently had committed the unspeakable crime of existing. So refill your goblet with imaginary Roman wine, wrap yourself in your finest bathrobe, and join us for a tale of boats, barnacles, and absolute bedlam. This is Caligula versus the Atlantic, a naval campaign with 0 ships and maximum sass. Let's set the stage. Caligula, real name Gaius Julius Caesar Germanicus, was born in 12 AD and basically raised in army camps. As a kid, he wore a tiny soldier's outfit and earned the nickname Caligula, which means little boot. Adorable, right? Fast forward to 37 AD, and little boot is all grown up and Emperor of Rome. And at first, people love him. He gives out bonuses, releases prisoners, throws parties, lowers taxes, and then brain fever. He falls deathly ill, and when he recovers, he's not the same. Caligula begins a rapid descent into what the Roman Senate politely called divine eccentricity, and what modern therapists might call extreme main character energy. He starts claiming to be a living god. He builds temples to himself. He threatens to appoint his horse, Incitatus, as consul. He executes people for being too well dressed at dinner. He turns palace halls into racetracks. He talks to the moon, and then he looks westward, toward Britain. Because what's a megalomaniac without a military conquest? In 39 AD, Caligula marches north with the Roman army, announcing a glorious invasion of Britannia. He arrives at the English Channel. The troops are ready. The ships are waiting. The banners are fluttering. The weather is awful. And then, nothing. No boats launch. No enemy appears. No orders are given. Caligula walks along the beach for a while. Then he tells everyone, "We're not fighting the Britons. We're fighting Neptune." Yes, Neptune, Roman god of the sea. Trident beard, angry fish energy. Caligula, in a burst of rage and theatrical flourish, declares war on the ocean itself. Why? Some historians think it was a cover for a failed invasion. Others think it was satire. And many just say he was off his nut. But Caligula commits. He orders the soldiers to line up on the beach in full formation and attack the waves. They swing swords. They hurl javelins. They scream battle cries at the tide. Imagine being a seagull that day. And after the soldiers had valiantly stabbed the Atlantic to death, Caligula declares victory. He commands them to gather spoils of war. What were the spoils? Seashells. He has the men fill their helmets and bags with shells, literal seashells, and return them to Rome as trophies of their triumph over Neptune. This, he says, will earn them a place in the Roman triumph parade. Picture it, chariots rolling through Rome, not with conquered kings, but with clams. Now, the Roman people were used to eccentric emperors. They could handle a bit of drama, a touch of flair, but war on the ocean? Even for Rome, this was a bit much. The Senate tried to stay quiet. The generals nodded slowly. The common people? Confused but impressed by the free bread. But whispers began, rumours, satire, that maybe, just maybe, little Boot had lost his marbles in the surf. Spoiler alert, he absolutely had. So, what was really going on? Some ancient sources, like Suetonius, paint Caligula as completely insane. Others hint that he might have been a political performance artist, using absurdity to mock the Senate or maintain fear-based control. Maybe the war on Neptune was a distraction from a failed campaign. Or maybe, just maybe, he genuinely thought he could defeat the ocean. We've all yelled at a Wi-Fi router before. Caligula just took it one step further. When Caligula returned to Rome, he held a full-on triumph parade. For fighting the sea, he decorated the city, laid out banquet tables, had prisoners of war, possibly dressed as sea monsters, and paraded his shells like Olympic medals. Behind the scenes, his advisors were panicking. This wasn't a man who needed a spa day. This was a man who gave speeches to the moon and threatened to have senators flogged for not clapping enthusiastically enough. The countdown to his assassination had already begun. In 41 AD, Caligula was assassinated in a secret underground hallway. His body was dumped in a shallow grave. When soldiers found out, many rejoiced. Others were simply relieved they didn't have to fight Mount Vesuvius next. And yet, Caligula lives on in legend, not for his policies, not for his taxes or roads, but for being the man who declared war on the ocean, and made his troops gather seashells as military trophies. Honestly, that's kind of iconic. He may have lost his mind, but Neptune never saw it coming. So next time you're overwhelmed, remember, you didn't declare war on the Atlantic Ocean today, and if you did, you probably didn't win. This has been Lazy History Club, where even the seashells tell stories. Subscribe for more strange, soggy, and slightly unhinged tales from history's weirdest corners. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to write a strongly worded letter to the wind.